Good morning. It's Wednesday, your midweek of the last week of the first quarter. Let's just jump right into that Word doc. Day 42, Wednesday, October 2nd. My homeroom, you have PE today. We'll be reading an introductory picture book today on the U.S. elections and what they are and how they work. And we'll be starting a more involved book tomorrow, but today is an introductory picture book. And today, tomorrow, and Friday, you're going to be working with your small teams for the last week, and you're going to be watching these different Brain Pop videos. Brain Pops are always fun. They're very short, and you can go through all of these different topics, the Articles of Confederation, the Declaration of Independence, and so forth. And then there's games, Brain Pop games on everything that we're learning about. That's pretty awesome. So you guys will be playing these games in your small groups, and you will be looking at the Brain Pop videos. Then you'll choose one video and one game each day to write a 2-sentence summary of the video or game. We've got, I think, 3 people now have recited the preamble for memory. It's pretty good. I bet more of you can do it. Don't forget to be practicing your amendments for the Bill of Rights after we finish our presentations today. Tomorrow you will be reciting, not from memory, you don't have to memorize them, just practice them. You'll be stating the amendments, and I'll call on you in order. For example, let me look at my sheet here. We would start with my homeroom with Landon, and then Palash would read Amendment 2. Then Pyrrhus would read Amendment 3 because that's what they were assigned. All right. And we continue and finish our presentations today for our expository small group projects. They've been going real well, mostly. Make sure, though, that you know who is talking and when, and you're not talking all over each other. You've got your 10 words. Please practice them. We did not get to this today. We are going to read these together on parentheses and brackets. And then tomorrow and Friday, we will be working on dashes and hyphens. Yeah. Day 3 of expository writing for your editing, how to make napkin rings. And I'm serious about Thanksgiving. If one or more of you makes napkin rings for Thanksgiving, take a picture or video of it. I would be very happy to see it. And you can base it on the instructions that are that's in the editing. Last week to compete or show your skills, and again, that will be tomorrow. We'll be both reading out loud the Bill of Rights, and you will be able to show off your geography skills. Starting in second quarter, we'll be focusing on different themes of geography other than map skills, but this will still be available for you. It's always available for you to use, so I'll keep that link up there so you can keep practicing. Gifted block riddles, the answers from, oh, that should say Tuesday. Come on, Mr. B. There we go. You're in second place. If you're running and you pass the guy in second place, then you become second place. And add 2 letters to the word short, and it becomes shorter. And this is a tricky one. The trick was noticing that it says 48 hours. That's 2 days exactly. So if it were 48 hours after this time, midnight, it would be midnight again. So it would not be sunny weather. It might not be raining, but it's certainly not going to be sunny. In today's riddles, what has 88 keys but can't open a single lock? What invention lets you look right through a wall? What runs all around a backyard yet never moves? So those are your riddles for today. And then you have Minecraft. Fun facts, yesterday was Roblox. Minecraft was almost called Cave Game. Lame. There was originally plans for an epic sky dimension. I have no idea what that means. You can tell a wolf's tail by their tail. Okay. The Enderman language is just English played backwards. The ghasts are voiced by a cat, and creepers are afraid of ocelots. I hope these are fun facts for you because they don't mean much to me, not being a gamer and not being a Minecrafter or a Robloxer. But I have no problems with them. I think they're pretty awesome and cool. And if I were your age, I would be loving them. But yeah, just never got into them after Super 2GS, Nintendo something, when my kids were younger and I played Donkey Kong with them. That's the last game I really ever played. All right, let's stop this share and get into our picture book. There it is. The Little Book of Presidential Elections. Lately, you've probably heard a lot about the upcoming presidential election, and who hasn't? Maybe you've seen news stories on TV or stickers on cars and signs in yards. These are signals that an election is near, but what is a presidential election? By the time you get to the end of this book, you will know all about the process of electing a president and why it is so important to vote. Here we go. A presidential election is a very special time. Why? Because an election for the president of the United States only takes place once every 4 years. A presidential election is the process of voting to choose someone to be the leader of our country. Every person who has the right to vote gets to help choose who will be president. Who has the right to vote in a presidential election? Today, anyone who is a citizen over the age of 18 can vote. But even if you're not over 18, it's important to know who is running for president and what they stand for. One day, you will be able to vote too. What does it mean to vote? Voting is a way of making a group decision, like what everybody in your family wants for dinner. I want burgers. I want spaghetti. I want pizza. But what happens if everyone wants something different? Whoever has the most votes wins. Or mom decides. Sometimes people disagree over small decisions like what's for dinner, but it can also happen with very big decisions like who should be president. Elections determine the winner. A presidential election starts with candidates. Candidates are the people running against each other for president. The candidates give speeches to let people know what they believe in and why they think they will be the best person for the job. Sometimes candidates disagree. Sometimes they argue over important issues. Having a difference of opinion is okay, but it is always important to be polite and respectful. Always listen to what others have to say. And if someone disagrees with you, it is important to do your best to understand their point of view. Oh my goodness, what a key idea that is. To learn how to disagree and still be polite. To learn how to come to a different conclusion than somebody else and not automatically assume that that person is bad. They just disagree with you. The presidential election begins with a primary election. Once elected, the public, this is when the candidates who will run against each other are selected. Once selected, the public then votes on which of the candidates they want to be their president. So the two big parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, have primaries. And then through this primaries of going state to state to state, they collect enough votes or representatives to nominate them for Republican candidate or Democrat candidate. And there's other parties too, but those are the two major candidates. Who is the public? There they are. The public is people just like you and me. When the public casts their votes, this is called the popular vote. You may think that the president of the United States is just voted on by all the people in the country and the person with the most votes wins, but it's not that simple. Our Constitution makes it a little more complicated, and this again has a lot to do with the states' argument about what states were more important, the heavily populated states or the less populated states. The president is actually elected by something called the Electoral College. Now, this isn't like a university. You can't go to the Electoral College and root for their football team. It is a way of explaining that this is a group of people that actually select the president. The people in each state vote. Electors from that state cast their votes. The candidate with the most electoral votes wins the election and becomes president. So actually, when you vote for president in, say, Florida, Florida has a cast of electors for the Electoral College. Then they're the ones that actually cast the vote, and they follow what the people tell them to do. Being president is a big job. The president should be a symbol of our country, our people, and our beliefs. Voting for the best candidate for the job is a privilege. Many people in the world don't have the right to vote, but the United States is a democracy. That means that it's a government by the people. In a democracy, the people vote for their leaders. This is one of the things that makes the United States of America so special. How do you decide who you want to vote for? Well, you got different issues. Equal rights for everyone, protect the environment, save the animals, good schools everywhere, doctors for all. Voting for the person who best represents the issues that matter to you is one of the most important things you can do. It may seem like one vote won't make a difference, but if everybody votes, it adds up to a lot of voices being heard. Remember, every vote counts. You've earned your voting badge. So, important terms to know: the presidential election, the process of voting to choose someone to be the leader of our country. Candidates, the people running against each other for president. Primary election, when the candidates who will be running against each other are selected by the two major parties, Republican Party, Democratic Party. The general election, when the people of the country cast their votes for president, the popular vote. The candidate who gets the most votes nationwide is said to have won the popular vote. Electoral College, established by the founding fathers of our country as a way to make sure that presidential elections are fair. Electoral vote, the candidate who wins the most electoral votes wins the election. And democracy, a government by the people. Now, we're a republic democracy, and we're a federal republic because we have a strong central government. And republic means we elect representatives. So it's a democratic federal republic officially. If it were a pure democracy, then all of us would have to vote all the time on every single issue that ever existed.
Good morning, Ridgecrest. The behavior PLCs are beginning in 3 minutes, and you can find the link in your personal calendar invite. Have a great day.
All right, we're going to stop the share now. That was an announcement at 7:27 this morning here at Ridgecrest. Talk with you soon. Stop the share, stop the recording, and that's a wrap.